awesome afternoons, because it's afternoon where I am. Excellent evening. It's evening where Faiza is. Actually, it may be a little later than evening.
Yeah.
And magnificent morning. This is Carla from Rehan Allahwala's World of Connections. And today I am so excited to talk to Faiza Raman from Karachi. I think you're from Karachi,
Yes, I'm
right?
from Karachi.
Karachi, Pakistan. And we're going to talk about her work and her passions for helping dyslexic children, and also about her life. I'm really, really excited to speak to this young woman about this because it's something I also am very passionate about. Having said that, I want to remind you that this show, like all of my shows, is sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which promotes peace with one conversation at a time. Faiza, I hope I'm saying your name correct. Lee,
Yes.
please introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Faiza Rahan, and I'm working for empowering people with neurodiversity, like those are with conditions, dyslexia, ADHD, autism spectrum, dyspraxia, and many sort of. So basically, the people who have learning challenges in their life. I personally think that there is a lot to do in Pakistan when it comes to education and empowerment. And there are many people who are school dropouts, school leavers, and they're not able to understand what they've been going through and why they are behind their peers, and why they're not able to give their potential. So, in order to have a better life, I must say, or for the well-being of their mental health and the physical health as well, I think if somebody have these diagnoses in their early age, it will be helpful to have their uh, passion pursue, and to have their potential, they're able to perform up to their potential. So I believe it giving it to society. So that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Now, why are you so passionate about dyslexia and special needs?
Um, I'm I'm already a person with learning difficulty, and I had a very challenging, challenged childhood, and my age with my schoolings and everything. So it was a difficult thing for me because people expect a lot of things that I really not able to deliver. But I never appeared as somebody who's not intelligent, and I always they always pick me up like a person who can do things differently. But when I'm not able to get my own potential, and it was an overburden thing for me to process this thing and to let people know around me that I need help in these circumstances. But unfortunately, during that time, there was no help available. And as I'm aware, I feel like it's my duty to empower people around me. As I'm privileged, it's my duty to let other people guide, to live up to their potential, to have less difficulties in their life. So I think people who have different minds, different brains, I must say, as dyslexia, autism, and ADHD. They are gifted with a lot of tendencies to work with, but they need direction and a little bit flexibility when it comes to their needs at their workplace, at their education, and with their with their family members, so they know themselves better uh, in order to live a progressive life.
Okay. Hold on. I made a mistake in getting it set up and I'm working on it now. Can you please do me a favor and define dyslexia for our audience?
Okay. Well, dyslexia is about language, and it's about how you have problems with speech in reading and writing, especially. Uh, Mostly, what I came across in my life, I used to read things, but I used to take time a lot to process all these things. So the concentration span is lesser, and sometimes you cannot pronounce properly. So it's more of like spelling. You have problem with your spellings, and in fact with the grammar and other things. I must say, like it's more of like when a normal person process a neurotypical person without dyslexia brain, what happened is their when they process their thinking, the, their brain region directly switch to their language section. But what happened when you have dyslexic mind, your brain region switch to your imagination, and then it process it into the language region. So then they can interpret, how they can speak, how they can how they can process their thoughts across any medium. So it's a double. The brain already doing a double effort in terms of having language. In terms of having any language, as I must say, if they want to say something and they couldn't process. So it takes time. So I'm sorry if I'm making sense out of it.
You're doing great. Keep on going.
Right. So that's how it is. I basically struggle with reading, and I was slow at writing. So that's how I started figuring out that I have something different that rather than other people, and the things are quite a lot for me in terms of like processing and delivering, rather than the peer of my own age. So that I mean, there was some difficulty around that part of my life. But I feel like when dyslexic people, they're given a platform where they can perform in where they can do hands-on things, basically, and then they learn quickly, rather than going with books with the regular procedure, I think they can do things very well when they're given tools to do things practically. So that's how I think this works.
So when did you figure out that you may have this syndrome or this disability?
I realized this in my uh, secondary school, higher secondary school. So because I used to copy things late from the whiteboard, and sometimes I don't pick up the what my teachers were dictating in the classroom setting. And the worst thing was with me, I had uh, uh, I used to had struggle with short-term memory. So my memory span was very much weak during that time, and I have to put a lot of effort to recall the things. So that was a quite alarming and difficult thing um, during that time, because when there are things involved in during a lot of uh, processing, like mathematics, you can say. It was a difficult thing for me, because when you have to do a lot of numerical work, things, the digits and everything, it's difficult to focus on these things. So those were the kind of things that I realized, like I have some learning issues, but I couldn't figure it out. Like, what is it called? Is it dyslexia, or what sort of thing it is? But later, I mean, I came to know while I was in university for my master's degree, and there I came to know that there are some learning challenges, and then I got my own diagnosis, and it was a relief, I must say, a breakthrough in my life, because throughout my life, everyone was kept on realizing me that you look so normal, you don't have any issues, you look so confident, and you do everything. I mean, in a way, you work independently, I mean, travel and everything. But when it comes to those processing issue, and especially when I got diagnosis, it was a bit of kind of trauma, I must say, because back home, while I was like looking for the cure for myself, so everyone said to me, like, there is no issue with me, and I might have depression or some anxiety. So they have treated me with a lot of pills and medication, and it made me worse. So when I started learning about myself through my diagnosis, through my how I function basically, and how I can overcome those things with my own strategies. So I think that was kind of thing happened to me, and I realized that, I mean, sorry, at times it happened that we lost contact of the first person. So this is what happened with dyslexic brain at times. And I hope I'm making sense.
You're making a lot of sense. What you need to do is feel comfortable. You're doing a beautiful job. Just relax, put a smile on your face, and maybe even giggle.
Yes, Carla.
And just speak from the heart. You're doing it. You're
Thank you.
doing a
Thank you for
great job.
encouraging me uh, to be to have me here and to allow me to speak about it.
We're not done. I'm not done with you.
I know. I'm just like mentioning it.
I am happy to have you here. When you were diagnosed, how old were you?
Well, I was in my mid-30s, and
Mid-30s?
yes, I was in my
How
mid-30s.
old are you?
You can have a guess.
You're older than I think. Are you married?
No, I'm not married. I'm single.
It's a good
So,
thing. Nothing's wrong with that. Would have never thought you were that old.
no, actually, I think it's been almost like 6 or 7 years, 7 or 8 years. I've got my diagnosis, so I'm in my 40s now.
I'm shocked.
So
I thought you were a graduate student.
no, I'm an adult, and no. So let's. I mean,
Let's not focus on that. Let's focus
yeah.
on
So it was. I
the.
mean, I got my diagnosis pretty late, although I wanted it since my schooling, and it happened this way. But I think I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. And I'm thankful that this thing happened to me sooner or later. But I think it's better not to be aware, not remain unaware throughout the life and keep struggling with the things. And what the best thing happened to me, I came to know about my rights, being a learning difficult person. I know I have good things to look forward. This is what I like to give to people in Pakistan, because on international level, all dyslexic and all learning disabled people, they are allowed to have special adjustments when it comes to their education. They can have extra time, they can have special material, their course designed differently, so they can perform better, they can pursue their dreams, whatever they wanted to do. And so they don't feel left out when they perform. So this is what I felt, that if I've got this chance in my life and I got this thing, so it's, I think I have to make sure the people around me, those who are struggling, and they believe in themselves, and they just step ahead with their life and can do many more things better. There are brilliant minds in Pakistan, and they can do things uh, in a far more better way. So this is this is in my mind at the moment, and people can claim their special needs if they want to. They can, their employers can help them out with their adjustments, and if they need some reading material or some assistive technology. So their employer, they can go to their staff, and they let them know that they need some extra help with their work, and so that they can perform in a better way. This is what in my mind. So the people can step forward and embrace who they are. It took me, I think, about 4 and 5 years to come forward publicly and to say people about these things, because people always take it as a stigma, and the mental health is always a kind people don't take seriously. And if you don't have good brain, if you don't have a healthy brain, I think you cannot think properly. You have health challenges and many other things. You don't have, in fact, you don't have any. You have you struggle with your relationships as well. So there are a lot of things a person get aware once they got their diagnosis, and this thing happened to me. We are at the moment in Pakistan, like there are a lot of things happening for the children, but at the school level, and but still there is a lot of a lot need to be done in high school level and university level, because people have stigma attached to it, and they have fear of getting bullied, and so they don't come up with their diagnosis, and they don't publicly claim it. In fact, if somebody makes sure, if the authorities make sure that it is going to be confidential, and their needs would fulfill what they need, but still the stigma is attached, and people are reluctant to step forward to say these things, that they got some special needs and they need adjustments for it. So I mean, it's not only me at the moment. There are other adults involved with me as well. So we are creating a kind of hub for them, basically, so people can get in touch with us, and if they have any learning challenge, whether they got their formal diagnosis or not, if they feel they haven't performed well in their life, they haven't met their potential. In fact, when it comes to their professional life, when it comes to their educational life, and if they have got mental health issues along with that. So we are here to help them, and I think there are quality diagnoses available for children and adults if you have dyslexia, dyspraxia, and other ADHD conditions. But unfortunately for autism, in Pakistan, we don't have any assessor who can diagnose autism. So the assessors are available for children, but it's difficult. It's quite technical to get diagnosis if you are an adult for autism. So we are trying our level best to get people trained in Pakistan, so that we don't have to go abroad to seek all these diagnoses and to demand our special needs. We need a system, we need an ecosystem where we can perform better, where we can have a support system from our family, from our educational institutions, and from our workplaces. So there is a lot can be done. People who have dyslexia and other learning challenges are entrepreneurs, and because entrepreneurs are mostly the people who know who can handle things according to their own needs and according to their own mind, I think. And here, basically, we can help them to get vocational trainings, so they can so they can have a better life, or to better life, and so they can progress further. There, I must say, I have got good support from my family. So and so that's that's how I got my education completed. Otherwise, if I haven't got any support from my family or from my teachers, I must be among few who couldn't finish their school. So I think a lot can be done, and things are happening, and our team is in the making of this ecosystem. So the more people here who cannot afford diagnosis, who cannot share what they're going through, can connect with us, and we are here to help them for their educational institute, for their employer, if they need anyone to speak on their behalf where they're struggling, and how we can overcome their performance level in order to give their maximum potential.
Now, when you were diagnosed, was it something that happened easily for you, or was it a little on the difficult side for you to find this out? People are commenting that it's so nice that you were able to figure it out. I can read you some of those comments. But I want to know how you felt when you finally realized, hey, this is an issue for me.
Okay. Well, I was actually doing my dissertation in disability management in UK higher education system, and I was skimming through their disability model in education setting, how it happens, and I came across this learning difficulty thing. Because, what happened, what I've learned basically, that the disability model is of one is classical disability, when you have all seen with disabilities like blindness, speech, or other disabilities, and the other one they have is like mental health, in which if you have depression or any anxiety or any other mental health diagnosis, so they can refer you to them. And the third one they have categorized was learning disability. So out of curiosity, although everyone has told me like I don't have these kind of issue, but I try to figure it out how we can diagnose this thing. So I basically got my screening done through online tools, and they were all referring me to go to the educational psychologist. So I've been to the specialist, and they assessed me, and then but I was quite sure that there was nothing wrong with me. But once my psychologist told me that I have these issues, it was a kind of a process in which I can say a process of acceptance. And because initially I was not ready to accept it, and it created a lot of chaos around me. I got stigmatized in my own mind, like how am I going to tell the people around me? Are they going to consider me that I'm less of everything? Or if I have any mental challenge or something that I cannot have a regular life if I like come up with all these things and I tell people around me. So it was a process. It was a struggle for me once I got diagnosis. It took me around good 2 to 3 months to accept this thing that I have all these things that I was living with and I have to live with. And then I took some further coaching through the other practitioners, and they guided me like how I can make my life more progressive, how can I claim my needs, so that I can have a better life, a life which I always wanted to have, to be honest. A support which I always wanted to have in my whole life. And the moment I got all these things during my examination, I found that this is me. This is how I created, and this is how I wanted to progress in my life. So once I think it was a breakthrough for me, and especially when I have given my exams and I perform above average for it, which was which I wasn't already, but I was not able to deliver to the public, or I was not able to deliver it to my community or my people around me. So it has given me a lot of trust on myself, how I can handle or how I can function in my regular life. So it was a challenge to accept this thing, and it takes time, but I think it takes community to help you as well, because alone I couldn't be able to accept myself with all these challenges, but fortunately I got help of my other fellow dyslexic friends and community. They guided me, they helped me a lot. They taken me to places where they learned the things, and they got opportunities to perform. So this happened to me, and this happened to anyone. And if we are willing to have possibilities in life, I think things can happen to anyone. I think life is not about like, um, um, it's more of life gives us possibilities, and we have to believe in it. We have to believe in ourselves that we are complete, we are whole, and we can do things that other people can do, but differently. We all are different. And if we feel that we have some differences, like other other than people functioning around us, so there's no harm at accepting it. There's no harm at telling to your near ones that there are some issues with you, and there's no harm at taking help and accepting and letting people know about this thing. So since I started telling people about it, since I started speaking about it, I don't feel shame about it. And I feel that people can do it, and there's no need to suffer. There's no need to suffer at all. And if you are suffering, uh, there's no shame about it. There's always a there's always help around. You can Google things about dyslexia. There are a lot of support groups available. There are a lot of community available, and especially if you are in Pakistan and you need your voice to be listened, you need people to hear you out. You can reach out to me, and we can do it together. I believe in myself, and I believe whoever fellow dyslexic, dyspraxic, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder people, whoever gifted, who are created differently, they are more than welcome to join us as a community, because together we can do things more better. We don't have any formal data in which we can say that we know people in Pakistan are into this spectrum. In fact, in Pakistan, this is not considered as a disability. I think I must say that we can. It's our choice how we take it. If we need special needs, we can claim it in a way like we need so and so adjustments. But it's the kind of thing that certain kind of help can adjust a life. So I cannot say it, you are disabled for the whole life. There are a lot of good things happening. We are living in a good times. A lot of IT, sorry. Yes, Carla.
You're giving us great information, and we've been online for a pretty long time. What would you like our audience to leave here knowing? And I do want to read you one comment, and you may want to go through and see the others. And what this person said is that you recognize herself and her powers. And here she is, a symbol of real human power. So you should feel very good about yourself, about everything you have said. So, what do you want to leave in just very shortly and briefly? What do you want to leave our audience thinking from this interview?
I think we all are beautiful. We all are different, and there's no harm at accepting oneself if there is a challenge in life, there is a solution in life. So believe in solution, things will come forward to you, and
Excellent.
believe in possibilities.
And that's true. And that's the most important thing that you are inspiring people to do in life. And I want to thank you for speaking with me tonight and spending your time. I don't think you realize how long you've been speaking, but you've been speaking a very long time for someone who said, I cannot do this in social media. You can. And you did very, very well.
Yes,
and with that, I also want to thank those who watched and commented. And please, I want to ask you, Faisal, to go back and look at some of the comments because they are very encouraging for you. And having said that, I want to remind everyone that this show was sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace one conversation at a time. And remember, you can accomplish anything you want. You need to make that decision. Can we wave goodbye?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.